Hi Virgo, here is a general look at your solar chart for September 2014, and may I wish you a happy birthday if you haven't had it already, and even if you have, may I wish you a happy birthday. There's some nice energies coming into your sign this month. Obviously you've got the sun in your sign until the 23rd, but also you're going to get Venus coming into your sign as well from the 6th. And yes, it's a powerful time for you with the sun in your sign, but you need to just be aware of avoiding the pitfalls of Neptune. There's a little bit of Neptunitis around at the very, very end of August and the very beginning of September, so it's about half of the first week of September. And also there's some Saturns, and you could feel that you've got a lot on your mind, you got maybe more pressure on you. But also there's uncertainties around. There's ambiguities. It's not clear. You know, it's about somebody. It's not clear. So Neptune's very good at fogging the issue, or you know, just making things a little bit vague and up in the air. But also there could be doubt and illusions about the true state of affairs, whatever that is, because that energy of Neptune, which can be quite duplicitous, there you go, you know, two-faced, can be coming towards you through somebody. It can be like that, but it doesn't have to be like that at all. It can just be you stressing out or picking holes in something for no reason at all. As I say, it's just a very fleeting aspect, but it's as well to mention it because Neptune in your opposite sign for many years and for many years to come is making quite a strong effect on your sun sign, particularly you natives born in early Virgo, in the first 10 days of Virgo, or with 4 to 7 degrees of Virgo rising. Actually, things are likely to come clearer for you, and indeed for all the signs, because all the signs are getting this Neptune thing, in the second half of September. Right? Now, until the 28th, your ruling planet Mercury is in a very practical area, so your thoughts may be centering around the practicalities of life, money, property, possessions, and also just the material world, material matters, material security. So you're considering your essential needs, or maybe somebody else's essential needs. And also maybe there are discussions going on related to this subject here, and your plans may focus upon useful, you know, how to make the most out of what you have, how to improve things where the piggy bank's concerned, but also capitalizing in practical ways through buying, selling, renting, leasing, and just stuff really, but also using your talents in an advantageous way, which might be quite lucrative for you. But there is still this really more in the very, very first part of this transit. There's still this rather unfocused, uncertain energy around, but it's right at the very beginning of it. Now, until the 6th, Venus is transiting a very background area of your solar chart, where you're keeping your feelings to yourself, where, again, you're not knowing exactly how you are feeling about somebody or something. That's a strange thing. Or it can work where you sort of have a secret love for somebody or something, but you can't come out with it. And it can work in other ways as well, where you are just drinking deeply in of beauty in quiet little peaceful ways and moments. Or maybe they're very, very sort of active. I was going to say noisy, but you know, sort of active ways where it's more joining in with others. but it tends to be quite a deep area that Venus is in until the 6th. And then from the 6th onwards, this planet Venus, the planet of love and material success and physical balance, is in your sign. And that's for about 3 weeks, supporting very gregarious, sociable mood. She casts her aura of beauty around you, so this is a great time to get people on side, to be persuasive, to also, if you're looking for a mate, you know, really put yourself in the right environments so you can find them, because it's a great time for a makeover as well, you know, getting a new hairdo, going out and buying some clothes, or indeed maybe enjoying going out with somebody else and having a bit of a good time together, and both of you, you know, buying some clothes and going somewhere and taking in some music or arts or whatever it is, and being just a little bit more self-indulgent. And this is a time when you can be valuing certain relationships, but also certain possessions, certain things that you have in your life, certain relationship, certain commonalities that you share with others in relationships. And this is a good time for you to put yourself out there, because this could mean that you do better in a material way, financially, but also through business, and also through in your personal life, you know, in your love life, as it were. There could be some jitters in the 2nd week, though. Especially look out for the 11th and 12th, because you may feel that others are trying to impose their will on you, or you are getting so passionate and worked up about a particular concept or an idea that you, unwittingly of course, are trying to impose your ideas on them. You do have to stick up for yourself, obviously, but at the same time, nobody likes having somebody else's opinions shoved down their throat, or, you know, it's just a time to watch out, really, that you are giving yourself some space, giving the others some space, being open-minded, even though something is really, really, really important to you, and trying to strike the right balance, which actually, with Venus in your sign, you probably will be able to do. So I don't know why I'm mentioning this at all, but I thought I would, because it might mean something for some of you at the time. Something that you are totally convinced about, okay, but then in the 2nd half of the month, you're more likely to, once the dust has settled, get things in perspective more, get things in proportion. Until the 23rd, from the 23rd, the Sun comes into the same area as Mercury, to do with finances, resources, and material security and the like. And your stuff, or somebody else's stuff as well, may have more of your attention, you know. Mars is in a transit of your solar communications area, the same place that Saturn is. So Mars is very much sort of kind of speeding up this area here and making it more immediate, because Saturn tends to languish for a long time, 2.5 years actually, in an area or a house of the chart, and it becomes like a chronic ongoing situation that you've got to improve on, that you're working at. I'm working at it, you know. And then Mars comes along and goes, oh, we haven't got time for any of this hanging around, you know, and procrastinating. I mean, I like to make decisions, and I like to initiate things, and I like to get active. So you could be getting a lot more out there, more in contact with people, but also the area that Saturn's been in for such a long time, that Mars has come into, is indeed the area of communications, is the area of education, but communications, creative self-expression. So if you've got something that you want to put out there, you know, what do they call it, float out there, then yes, sort of the time to do it, really. It's a good time to float a new concept and body of work, or indeed just get involved more within a community or within a subject. You know, you signed up to learn something, or you've signed up to teach something. The only thing is that Mars can be impatient, and so rather than being terribly, terribly diplomatic, which actually you probably will tend to be more diplomatic with Venus in your sign anyway. But if you're listening to this in August, Mars was there all through August. So you might be very assertive, you know, even aggressive, coming across with your opinion on something, right? That's it. I have spoken. And of course you didn't mean to, but it's Mars, and Mars is the god of war, you know, and so Mars is the god of stirring it up. So anyway, yes, so try to be measured, decisive, diplomatic in what you're saying, but obviously you're going to be firm because you're sticking up for yourself, particularly this month with the sun in your sign. You've got, you know, may the force be with you. It will be with you. And there could be more paperwork coming at you. There could be the need for you to produce more paperwork. There could be the need for you to sort of get your act together where the schedule's concerned and where the deadlines are concerned and whether, okay, I need to have done this by now is concerned. Then from mid-month, Mars moves, and it means that you could be busier than usual in and around your home or HQ or a base of operations, because you might not be at home, you might be away. A living space. So some of you will see this as DIY. Some of you will see this as to do with family, extended family, community, tribe. Some of you will have more hustle and bustle around you in and around where you are, you know, where you sleep, where you wake up, where you have breakfast, you know, wherever that is, or where you work, you know, where you're spending an awful lot of time, you know, a base. This is also a time for you to get more decisive about issues to do with your base, to do with property, location, to do with anything going on with the family, family members, or the past, you know, the past coming into the present somehow. And just sort of looking at your own self, really, and confronting yourself over certain behavior patterns. This would be a good time to be doing that, but you understand that, you get that, because you are the sign which is connected to yes, purity, you know, distillation, that's what I mean by purity, but also synthesis, you know, bringing all the disparate tiny elements together, and so they just go mesh. Beautiful, you know, it's like that. And you spend a lifetime or several lifetimes trying to do that. But anyway, yeah, skeletons could have been rattling in the closet, and it could be like that for some of you, or it might not be. It might be to do with traditions. It might be to do with nature, Mother Nature, the outdoors. All of that is in the area that Mars is going to come into for about 6 weeks from the middle of September. Saturn is in the area to do with communications and education, and I've kind of sort of covered that a little bit there. But you working very hard at expressing yourself. You working very hard at learning a new body of knowledge, teaching a body of knowledge. You working very hard at communications in a kind of a regular sort of a way. And also learning that oftentimes when somebody says the truth, what they're actually meaning is kind of my truth, or indeed my perception is this, and I call it the truth. So there is no one truth, of course. Mostly the truth is time bound as well. So maybe the truth is beyond time completely. And you Virgos, so stick that in your pipe and smoke it. Well, anyway, that's just my opinion. But anyway, you Virgos born in the middle 10 days or with 17 to 22 degrees rising will feel this energy the most during September. And then Jupiter, it has come into the sign before yours until next August. And this means it's a mega 12 months for 11 months, tying up loose ends, you know, forgiving, accepting, completing. It's a huge completion time for you. And it'll take you down many different paths within yourself, you know, during these many months to come. But it's a good time to be it's learning something new, yes, because Jupiter always wants us to learn something new, but sort of plugging away at it quietly in the background, you know, coming to it, doing a bit, going away. Or maybe some of you, you know, take on something kind of big and you are slowly creating it. I see this as a chrysalis area, a cocoon. So the butterfly is growing and creating quietly, you know, out of sight, under the leaf, nobody sees. And it's not until Jupiter comes into your sign that then is the grand presentation, and that will be from next August. And you Virgos born in the middle 10 days or with 9 to 16 degrees rising are going to feel this energy the most. And just another mention of Neptune. It's in your opposite sign, so be careful that you're not the prop for others. Be careful that you're not sacrificing yourself for somebody else. Don't make a martyr out of yourself. But of course, you can be the wonderful bridge, the facilitator, the enabler. But remember to keep your boundaries strongly in place, and you will come to, you know, you will develop yourself in this more compassionate kind of a way in your relationships, whether those are working ones or in your personal life. And as I said earlier, it's those of you born in the first 10 days or with 4 to 7 degrees rising going to feel the energy the most. And that's it for September. So if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, listen to those. Just take the little bits that make sense and throw away the rest. And I'll see you the next time.